Okay, and one other symptom that I've been experiencing after my raw fun yesterday, especially after the raw squash, um, there's a symptom called oral allergy symptom, OAS, or syndrome, OAS, and that is when your body confuses um, and I don't know if they're proteins in the fruits or vegetables, but your body confuses the fruits and veggies that you're eating with pollens you may be allergic to. So if you have like an allergy symptoms, your body, you bite into, like in my case, summer squash, or maybe even an apple or something, and your body goes, oh, this is a pollen you're allergic to. I'm gonna, we got to send out the defense system. So you get the like itchy roof of your mouth, sometimes an itchy throat, because these are just like symptoms when you have allergies, because your body is trying to fight the allergens getting into the body, right? So it swells everything up. So it can't go down there. The issue with this is that it's a confusion. Your body's confused because you're not actually allergic to apples or, kiwi fruit or whatever it is. But your body is like, oh, allergen. Ah. And so I had this once before, and it was, I was just really unbalanced in my gut. This was partly from those antibiotics that I gotten after I gave birth. And I was really unbalanced. And after I had been eating quite a bit of processed foods, when I went back to trying to eat healthy again, I was getting these allergic reactions. And it got to the point where at that time in my life, it was so bad. I was literally like afraid to eat fresh fruit, fresh produce in general. I was just terrified because it was just swelling up so bad everywhere. And after tons of research, what worked for me, hands down, was fermented products. The fermentation was the only thing that got my gut back in order. Again, without taking expensive supplements, because I wasn't there in my life. Still not. But so that's when I started making kefir, and it just like cleaned it up so fast, and not so fast. I mean, it was like a couple of weeks of getting these live probiotics in my belly, the natural way, through fermented foods or fermented beverages. Kombucha off the shelf at the store does not work the same way, because there's not as many live probiotics in the store brands as you would if you were making it yourself. And that's why I was making my own kefir, is because you get so much more when you make it yourself. And I didn't have the equipment to make my own kombucha. So kefir, super easy. It's like making your own yogurt, like really simple. And that totally cleaned it up. But in the last week or so, I started to notice it kind of come up again. Now, granted, I was on a junk food diet for a few months, due to like it was PTSD, really, was a lot of it. But serious depression plus the PTSD, I was on a bad diet. And although I have cleaned up that diet, I still have, some of these junk food things popping up in my diet. It's not like all day I'm eating junk food, but, it's like I'm eating a salad with some junk food. So it's better. But just in the last week or so, I started to notice like a little bit of itchy coming back on the roof of my mouth when I would eat fresh stuff. And it's just like, oh no, don't come back. So honestly, I knew that this detox was coming at a good time, but I really started to notice it yesterday, and my mouth is actually still itchy from yesterday. Um, so I have to wait and see how this is going to go, because I don't have my kefir grains anymore. I ended up accidentally killing them. I was crying because they become like a pet to you. And I know this sounds crazy, but anyone who has done this at home, you understand. Live cultures, they become kind of a pet where you're like keeping them alive. And, so it was a very traumatic day when I accidentally washed them down the drain. So I do have to order more, but at the same time, I'm trying to, I'm going to see if this cleans it up at all, this detox, just because I am taking super fancy probiotics that are in like a time release capsule. So a lot of the probiotics that you take on the market, they get eaten up before they even hit your gut. They're burning up with the stomach acid, through here and stuff before they even reach down there. And so, hopefully, hopefully it will make a difference. But I did realize, like, oh, it's still itchy this morning on the roof of my mouth. Like yesterday, I was literally like scratching, like, it's itchy. Because it's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing when you know you should be eating fresh produce, but you're having allergic reactions to it. Stuff that you're not allergic to. Like, I'm not talking if you are allergic to, strawberries and you have an allergic reaction, like you're actually allergic to strawberries. But when your body is confused and is acting like you're allergic to things that you know for a fact you are not allergic to, it's kind of heartbreaking a little bit because it's like, I love eating these things. What's going on? But it really started with the squash yesterday. So yeah, it's like really itchy back there. I'm like trying to itch it with my tongue. So we'll see if that cleans up. Fingers crossed. Oh my gosh, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, all right. That's one of the other things I wanted to point out. So itchy mouth, itchy butthole. I'm hoping that in the next 6 days, whoop, gone. That's my hope. Wish me luck. And I'm curious, if you do this detox yourself, write below and tell me what your symptoms were. I'm really curious because we all react differently. Since we're all, unique chemical makeups. I mean, we're all human and we all have the same basics, but because we all have these unique chemical makeups, we're all going to have very different reactions from each other. And that's why the medical profession is they have to walk on eggshells a lot because with prescribing medications, everyone's going to react differently to medications because of that reason, because we're all made up differently inside. So one medicine will work like instantly on someone and another person is just not going to do anything. And then the other person's going to have all these weird side effects without any benefits. So doctors have to really be careful in that way because, we all react differently. So yeah, fingers crossed it all goes away after a few days. We'll see. All right.